station with more. You're listening to the radio station.
You're listening to
The radio station with more. You're listening to the radio station.
You're listening to
This is
Radio Biafra. Radio Biafra.
Chukwu
Once again, fellow Biafrans, lovers of freedom, men and women of goodwill, conscious people, wherever you are all over the world, I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and to some of you, good night, depending on your time zone. And of course, this is Radio Biafra Extra, and we are streaming live through Radio Biafra London. Radio Biafra London is being anchored by the Deputy Leader of the Indigenous People of Biafra. His name is Mazi Uche Okafor-Mefo. Mazi Uche Okafor-Mefo is from Abatete. Abatete is in Anambra State, and Anambra State is Biafra land. Mazi Uche Okafor-Mefo is the man who has simply assured us that I will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. Honestly, a lot of us will not be able to comprehend the mindset behind those words. But of course, one day you shall. Because a day will come, we will give the story how we overcome. Our detractors, our enemies, the enemy of Biafra, of course, those who want us to fail, they are all observing us. And we are happy that at the end of the day, we will look at Elohim and say to him, thy gentleness, O Lord, is what has made us great. He simply say, I will not allow the heart of this project to see corruption. You have that to deal with. And of course, Mazi Uche Okafor-Mefo is standing in a deputizing capacity on behalf of our supreme leader. He is Mazi Nnamdi Okukano. Mazi Nnamdi Okukano is the king of Afari Beku. Afari Beku is in Umuahia. Umuahia is in Abia State. Abia State is Biafra land. Mazi Nnamdi Okukano is the director of Radio Biafra as well as Biafran Television. He is the leader of IPOB. May I remind you that for over 60 years, nobody in Biafra land, including my father, nobody stood up to speak for the collective interest of the Biafran people until he came. This is one truth. This is one journey. This is one sacrifice nobody can take away from him. Also, and by the special grace of Chukwuki Kabiama, I am George Onyibe. I come from Abo. Abo is in Anyoma Kingdom. And I should tell you tonight that every piece of land in Delta State where you have Anyoma, of course you have Anyoma in Edo State, they are all Biafra land. But I will not proceed until I acknowledge the Creator. Because without him, we are gone as a people. I actually discussed with my younger sister this evening, and she asked me something, and as we were discussing, I remember something. And this evening, I give it to the Creator. We have to reference him. Onyemeni miheno, umeni miheno, chukumeni miheno, umeyike. Unyemeni miheno, umeni miheno, usulubwe meni miheno, umeyike chuku meni miheno, numeyike o. Anyị na-aja gị mma o maka n'eziokwu n'ịbụ sọ mma ịhụnanya na gị obiọma gị o juru anya dadi o inwe gị mgbanwe o ọ dịghị onye dịka gị ịbụ Alfa na Omega anyị niile na-asị na n'ịdị mma o ise. And of course, without wasting much of our time, we will go to our topic this evening. This segment, our team, remain back to your roots. Back to your root. Believe me, a lot of people have been battling with that idea, but I don't blame you anyway if you still find it uncomfortable. Honestly, sometimes I may be wrong in my spelling. I stand to be corrected. When I say back to your root, I'm not talking about the R-O-T. And I noticed that is what I've been keeping on my caption or topic for every day. Honestly, that is not what I meant. I just discovered that today. When I mean back to your root, I mean root as in road, not root as in taproot. But whatever the case may be, whether the root you are coming from as in R-O-U-T-H or as in R-O-O-T, root is root, and we must go back to our root. Honestly, when you are still plugged to the matrix, you see struggle with this truth. It's fine. When there is need for us to struggle, we struggle. And when there is need for us to flow, we flow. Whatever the case may be, that is the beauty of life. Every living thing, the moment they are threatened, of course, divinely they respond. They develop defense mechanism. That is the beauty of life anyway. Our team remain back to your root. Because when we are conquered or when we are defeated or when we are enslaved, they take something away from us that will make us not to be able to function. And then we struggle. But I tell you, in the end of our journey here in IPOB, every man and woman will bear testament to the truth that the struggle is truly the glory. And then we continue to march on. Back to your roots. Very important. I don't want to understand how you feel about it. One way or the other, you will go back to your root. We all have to go back there. So much history, so much secret hidden there. But it's us. And then we will claim it one day. I ran across an audio online, and this was supposedly a call coming from a Chinese to only God knows who. And the Chinese man was telling the friend, supposedly an African, maybe African American or African, and said, see, my brother, when we conquer you or when we want to take over your land or when we want to do this or that to you, don't think we have done wrong. It is natural for the strongest to dominate the weak. This is exactly what we are doing. And do you know why God has kept them quiet all this while? Because these are the principles that governs life. You don't know your father. How will you know how your father survived to conquer this blessed land of Biafra on our behalf? When we say go back to your root, you go back there. The Chinese man said with confidence, vigorously, the blacks should be considered as a weaker species, very low in thinking. And most of you agree with them. And so it is obvious that the strong conquer the weak. It's okay. But understand that sometimes the weak don't always remain the weak. I am the first son of my father. I was born weak. Weak in the sense that those who look at me think I am weak. But I just function anti-clockwise, and I'm proud of it. And I have to accept it. But the people around me must understand that I function anti-clockwise, abnormally. This is who I am. I will not change it. And then my parents struggled over the years to find out how to make me fit in. But actually, I am the one who is meant to make them fit in. For he who made positive also made available negative. For he who made the day made sure there are nights. For he who made the rainy season did not forget about the dry season. If there is up above, then there is earth below. For without a man, there will be no woman. Neither can the woman boast without the man. And then there is spiritual and yet physical. In the end of the day, we all are here to serve the purpose of one and one alone, which is the Creator, the Almighty God. And then I begin to listen to the audio. I was upset at the beginning. And then I later begin to think anti-clockwise as I normally do. And I said, let's just check it. If the lion wakes up in the morning and is hungry, and then he need to feed. And then if the lion need to feed, the lion does not eat grass, then he must feed on animal. And then the lion gets hungry and set a trap for another animal. And then after hours, unable to get one, we now resolve back to God. That is why I always acknowledge him. We always acknowledge him on this platform. And then the lion will say to the Creator, I am hungry as you can see. I need to eat. Please, let a goat pass my way. Please, even if it's a deer, I just need to eat. And then somewhere there is a goat looking for very mature grass to eat. There are grass within his territory or its territory, but he's looking for the Chinese grass or the Japanese or American grass. I tell you, it's going to end up in somebody's belly. And then when the lion is eating the goat is saying, God, save me. And God will say, but I left you so much grass to eat in Africa, and you are coming to China. I won't help you. Because the same prayer you are praying is what the lion prayed. And now you understand God does not condemn any of them. And sometimes it looks as if the world is survival of the fitter. I want to believe today if African will rise to the helm of affair globally, they may do worse than anybody, whatever anybody is doing at this moment. Anyway, I do not judge anybody, but I just want to believe that somewhere along the line, nobody has monopoly over this thing. It's just that we are avoiding certain things which are actually meant to empower us. So when we say back to the root, there is something there. We need to get it. We need to get it. Honestly, I may have to digress so much so you'll be able to appreciate our topic this evening. I'm just talking about the theme. I've not even gone to the topic. Now, let us look at it this way. I have a lot of native doctors in my family. Of course, in Onyibe, a lot of native doctor herbalists in my family from generation to generation. In fact, in my own family, we have 2 or more. My mother is the last or more of Umunede. We call them in Yese, not Omo. My grandmother is the last or more of Umunede. She's from the royal family. So many Reba Yamane Mutuke, Yamane Mochano, me. So I understand those things. The reason I'm bringing it up is I still have another Omo in my family, 2 from different community, because the Onyibe family has gone around many communities. But there is a reason why I say that. I visited my uncle. He's a herbalist. We call him Onjaguale. Onjaguale is a good man. So when I see people who condemn native doctor or herbalist, I think they operate in their ignorance. And then when I saw Onjaguale as my uncle, what attracted me to him, he's very kind. Not because of the spiritual power he possesses. He's a kind man, very caring man. And so I will stroll out as a child to his house. And when I get to his house, there are certain things I see in his shrine. He don't allow me to touch them. I don't know why, but I don't. And there was one of them, we call it onono, onono. It is a calabash that is long like a horn. They use something black, I do not know the substance, to rub this calabash. And then they pin cowries to this very object. And this, my uncle, does not play with that object. And that object does things. It looks like it talks. I can't explain anyway. That is where knowledge is higher than knowledge. And so each time I go there, he asks that 10 question. Oh, no. That thing will make a sound. I don't understand. And then he continues speaking to those things. But then, that was when I was a child. And then as I grew up, I have a little idea about electronics or electrical elect. Technologically wise, I think I'm a little bit advanced. And when I begin to study the electronics aspect of it, I discovered the IC. The IC could also be referred to as capacitor. They do not have anything inside them. Onyibe will just take black substance, cover it with iron or paper or anything. They call it IC. If any electronics has its IC damage, it can't function. The IC is just a replica of Onono with the native doctor. But you will not believe that Onyibe inside electronics have juju. You won't believe because it is technology and our own is jujuology. And I try to draw the line between these two. I could only tell you this evening, my brothers, packaging is just the different. But that is not where I'm going to. The reason I'm saying back to your root is to be able to appreciate why our ancestors did what they did. I do not stand here to tell you that they are the best of the best of the best of the best. But I'm here to tell you that if they have the privilege we have today to tell the world their experience, and then you will hear a song like this. Oh Lord my God, when I'm in awesome wonder, considering the works the hand has made, I see the star, I hear the rolling thunder, the power throughout the universe display. Then sing my soul, my Savior, unto thee, unto the Lord. How great thou art, how great thou art. Let me stop there anyway before I turn it to church service. That having been said, I am not afraid to test, to have the experience for a new island, because not until you remove your eye from the very immediate shore, you won't discover another island. And so when I say back to your root, forget about whether you like it or not. Knowledge is power. Just know about it. And so this evening, without wasting further time, we will go to our topic, which is simply titled Our Ancestral Principles and Value of Nationhood. Our ancestors' principles for value and nationhood. Honestly, I know where my fathers are coming from. I am from a Nyoma kingdom. But we didn't fall from the sky. We are the sons of Unri. Certainly not the first son or the second son, but around the fifth and the seventh son. We indeed are the Ekumeku people you hear of history. But when our elders are ready to tell you the truth, they will tell you of the truth. That the Anyoma nation are extraction from every communities. The side of Anyoma I come from, we migrated from Imo State. The Okwane migrated from Anambra State, Okozo. I can go on and give you the history. We know who we are. Nobody tells us. Nobody tells us who we are. We know. And when this principle was forsaken, a lot of things were destroyed. A lot of things were destroyed. Believe me, if you like, do gra-gra. We have come in terms with your nonchalant attitude. The truth is that one day, everybody must accept the truth, including Nigeria. Leave Nigeria, let them be doing gra-gra, never get their time. You must embrace the truth. From America to China to... You see, I was praying this evening. I was meditating. And God said, don't worry about China and Japan. If they think they are going to feed on the misery of the Africans, I will reduce them to the Soviet Union. That the fate of the Soviet Union will be better than them. Any idiot coming to take over Africa, any idiot coming to exploit Africa, understand we have communed with the Creator, and then we risk life itself. But then our people must embrace this truth, this glorious light, this gospel you continue to hear on Radio Biafra. You think it's easy for our leader to come out and broadcast? But of course, the responsibility of a nation has fallen upon his shoulder. He has no choice. Okay, he has no choice. Tell him I said that. He must. The enemy may rise and think they will destroy us. They will do this one. The pair of light is not in their hand. But we need to know the truth. And it is this truth that will set us free. Our fathers. If you see somebody tell you, I'm Urubu man. Isoko Urubu. They are from Okoso in Anambra State. But they have passed 2 bus stops before they become who they are. From Edo, I know the Biafrans. Esako, Ekpoma, Orionwo, Awuchi, Abudu, Ozanogogo, Zanishi, all of you, I know all your history. For I was born among you. Our leader has answered the question. We stop there this night. Your mother tied to rapper, you are a Biafran. We will tell the story one day. We are able to find our way back home gradually. Not because we are educated, not because we are enlightened, not because we are anybody. Because those your father they told you are evil, laid principle on ground. And each day we disciple them. And the more we disciple, the more we come back home. What are we here to do? We are here to recover ourselves. Our leader understands this truth. He wants everybody to come together. Everybody just need to understand who they are. He doesn't have the knowledge of his own. He had idea about the principle of nationhood installed by our ancestors. If you do not know things like that exist, you will not appreciate what we do here on Radio Biafra. You will not. We may not be very proud of our action, but in 100 lifetime, we will do it over and over. Forget about the dispensation we are. When we are done with Nigeria, every Nigerian will understand who we are. We will not bend for cows and cowrie. For the precocious art nor amulet. Because we will always be here. When we consider the process through which a nation is formed, one will clearly see the principle upon which the society was built. As far as the principles are recognized, you service them, you are willing to manage them, and as well maintain these principles, the people will continue to abide in a nationhood. Let me repeat the grammar. When we consider the process through which a nation is formed, one will clearly see the principle upon which a society is built. As far as these principles are recognized, you must recognize it. As far as these principles are serviced, you must service it. As far as these principles are managed, you must manage it. As far as these principles are maintained, the people will continue to abide in the nationhood. If our father didn't do Wayo, you do Wayo, it won't bring Biafra together. Because you are a Wayo man. According to my brother Asare Dokubo, you are a Mumu man. If our ancestors understand the true meaning of equity and we're willing to deploy this principle, you don't have choice. For our society, the nationhood to abide, you must service equity, because he who must come to equity must come with clean hand. Let me digress a little bit. Most of us don't know what is equity. Equity is not justice. In fact, I can categorically tell you that equity is almost the opposite of justice. Because equity say you have to give up something so somebody else will be happy, and forget about justice. They are not the same. Justice simply demand, give gold to gold, the owner of gold, give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar, and give to Jesus what belongs to Jesus. This is justice. But equity say no. Jesus got to mellow down. Caesar got to mellow down, because all fingers are not equal. Our ancestors say, he that must come to equity must come with clear hand. Because equity will make it look like you are a sinner. But you are not. Because equity say, rob Peter and pay Paul. This is what equity say. But I tell you, equity is the greatest of it all. This principle must be serviced. Egbe beri, ugo eberi. Egbe and ugo, they are not the same. Whether Egbe is stronger than ugo, they got to allow each other to live. Principle, live and let's live. That is just the true, simplest way to explain equity. Now, let me digress further. When we talk about equity, equity is telling you that God created Mr. Peter to be 10 feet tall. And for Mr. Peter to succeed, he need to be able to look across 9 feet tall fence. And now, naturally, Mr. Peter does not have a problem as a 10 feet tall man looking across to the other side of the land with a fence of 9 feet. He has the advantage of 1 foot. So when Peter wakes up in the morning, he looks across the fence, he sees everything he needs to see. From the challenges to the mene and so on and so forth. It's okay, it's easy for him. And then the same creator creates John. And then he makes John 4 feet tall. He gave the same task to Peter that he gave to John. And now John have an obstacle that is 9 feet. And the creator gave him just 4 feet high. Which means for him to get up to 9 feet and above, he need extra height of 6 feet. Equity say, Peter, forget about your advantage now. We need to carry Paul along. We need to carry John along. And then Peter will say, how am I supposed to be of any help? And then the creator will say, Peter, help him build a table that is 6 feet tall. And then with his 4 feet, if he climbs on the table, it becomes 10 feet, the same height with you. So both of you can see clearly. Now understand, it is unfair. It is unfair, honestly. But now, do not end up calculating the immediate advantage. Look beyond the immediate. You will be glad there is equity. If you are patient enough and you sacrifice to help John to build a table of 6 feet in order to appreciate his 4 feet to 10 feet equivalent to you, this is what will happen. He will see the challenge you are seeing. And when it is time for both of you to battle together, you will not be fighting alone. Somebody is going to watch your back. Do not forget that the Roman legionnaire, they do not have any protective armor behind. So somebody going to watch their back. That is equity. I won't go further than that. Equity makes one to sacrifice for another, so both of them can enjoy equal stability. So our ancestors understand all these things, and they put this principle in place. And as long as we abide by those principles, we abide by nationhood. If peradventure we neglect this principle, and then you have catastrophe everywhere. People will cause hulobalo. Because of course, those who conquered us supposedly, they left a pendulum of chaos behind. You just can't repair it. The more you try to repair it, the more it creates more chaos. But it has to be destroyed. But when we encourage one another to build equity, finally, We can form an impenetrable unit with one single voice. Like Joshua and his men, we will sing unto Elohim, and the walls of Jericho will fall down. Tonight, on this very topic, I want us to find out some of this principle, and each of us can go back home and begin to prepare our mind to embrace this truth, though they are bitter, though they are very hard, but certainly we don't have choice. You don't. There are rules we must cross, bridge we must cross. There are sacrifices we must make. Number one of such principle is the principle of free religion. They understand that there will be so many religions. Our ancestors practiced it. Some people are ashamed that they go to Ubebulu or Dibia. Why? If my calling tomorrow is Ubebulu, I tell you, Utamba. You don't know what is Utamba. Nkabwa Utamba, Mbagwanu Utamba. Unwe puengene nke. Eshibengene. Our ancestors understand there are so many religions. When the children of Israel left Egypt, Aaron was appointed as the high priest. But among the children of Israel, there are other priests that are not of the line of the lineage of the Melchizedek. They were there with the people of Israel. But the Elohim, Chukwokika Biama, said to Aaron, said to Moses, Aaron is my mouthpiece. Neither did he reject others. Now, when we talk about the story of Balaam the prophet, people think he's a foreigner. He's an Israelite. He's a Hebrew. He's Hebrew. He knows how to talk to Elohim. The same way Aaron talked to Elohim, he talks to him. Free religion. When Saul went to contact or consult a definition, a define evil prophetess, supposedly according to demonization principle that governs the world, Saul consulted in which to invoke the spirit of Samuel. The spirit of Samuel came forth because Chukwokikabiama allowed it to come. Do you know that the three wise men were astrologers? Did you know the Bible condemned astrologers? But then when they went to visit Jesus, they are called the wise men from the east. Who the hell are you to judge? Are you God? When somebody say, I am one Saint Teresa. When somebody say, I belong to the order of Saint Mulumba, order of all the old order, you leave them alone. There are issues that are greater than all of us. Or go more anyhow you like. Go one more. But at the end of the day, we will stand before our Creator and give account of our life. It's not left for any man to decide. We understand how these issues have been politicized. Our ancestors knew this truth even before your mother was conceived. Who are you to judge over it? Oh, I don't want to Islam. Oh, we don't love Christian. Oh, we don't love Shabbat. Oh, we don't love Who the hell are you? Allow it to be. God is the judge of it all. If you come to Abo, where I come from, if you know how many shrines my ancestors served, it will amuse you. We have Ekbentu. We have Idugun. We have Akemoho. So many. When you die, there are symptoms we see. We know who killed you. I might tell you to go back to idol. Don't forget I'm reverend anyway. I am reverend. Man of God. I am the general overseer of Sanctuary of God Church. We've seen the light. We need to allow other people to see it. If other pastors refuse to say the truth, karma will make them say the truth. You won't understand. We will get there in our next segment. Our ancestors understand the need to respect everybody's religion. If I like, I think, Holy Mary, Mother of God, the Lord is with you, pray for us. It's not your business. It's not your business. Let God fight for himself. You stop fighting for God. Who the hell are you? As you keep fighting for God, you keep disgracing yourself. That is just it. The highest deity recognized in Igbo land is Amadioha. Before you talk of Ikenga, these are deities. Some of our fathers worship Amadioha. The lineage of the ancestors that worship Amadioha. Everybody, if your father name is Amadi, you are from that lineage. If you like, go and change it now. You sabi. The tribe of Biafrans that worship that deity known as Amadioha. If your father's surname is Amadi, you are one of them. Don't let anybody deceive you. Be proud of who you are, my brother. And then we have the Ikenga, among others. So numerous, I should say. But let me tell you something, why I'm bringing it up. I went to a community known as Ozozo. Ozozo is in Rivers State. It shares boundary between Rivers State and Imo State. Precisely a Che land. I am very close to the high priest of Amadioha. But I never discuss with him. Of course, his first son know who I am. But I don't talk to them. I behave like Mumu and I look at them. They are looking at me. They think I'm Mumu. And I studied them very well. Honestly. And then I begin to ask question. Eche Ozuzo in River State is not Igbo. Nigerian doctrine. As I was hey, Anyama is not Igbo. Oh no, man, just be disgracing yourself. We are looking at you. We are not in a hurry. And then I asked a question then. I've not joined IPOB, but out of curiosity to know the truth, I dabble into many things. And I said to one of my workers who is from a Gala, Anambra State. Most of you don't know that Southeast is not Igbo State, Igbo region. Even in Anambra, close to 21 communities are not Igbo. They are Igala. I have so many friends from Anambra. They can't even speak Igbo. And I told my friend, I say, but these people are Ozozo, Eche, and they say they are not Igbo. And the highest deity of the Igbo nation is Amadioha, God of thunder. If you watch, is it Troy they call the film or Toy? That man that carry hammer, it's not a Igbo man, it's an Igbo man. Those of you who watch Troy, that film when they show mutant, when you be Juju man for Africa, they call you Juju so they can demonize you properly. If you be winch for Igbo, they call you mutant. Mutant. See the name, very melodious. Mutant. Amadioha na Igbo man. But when they use an art film, they give an Troy. 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 That man where they carry hammer for movie. Now he be Amadioha, no be Igbo man. But you did that, they condemn Juju info. Why Igbo no go come carry am from you? Very soon now go our children go they pay go watch masquerade. Masquerade that we can do. Let me know. I don't like digressing, but of course our duty is to make you know the truth. And I asked the friend, I say, so if Ozozo Eche in Iguacha is not Igbo, then how can we explain it that the highest deity in Igbo land is in Iguacha? We laugh. Honestly, if they are listening to me tonight, they know I'm not lying. I'm not lying. But what I'm trying to say is our ancestors understand the need for free religion. When India discovered this secret, that is why they got to where they are. Do you know in India, anything you want to worship as your God is your God? Some worship cow, melu, they worship snake. India is not killing anybody, nobody killing anybody there. Everything British brought to them, they rejected all of them. They only accepted technology. When I tell them, hey, Antichrist, do you know Christ before you call me auntie? I'm not auntie of Christ. Do you know even Christ before you know his auntie? Believe me, I just want us to understand that we need to create an atmosphere that will enable all of us put what we got in that very platform, in that very electric magnifying field. We release megahertz of radioactive power that is able to tumble your brain and let us go, for God's sake. You won't understand anyway. And so when people wake up, they start saying different religion. Do not condemn them. Adam and Eve had another form of religion. Their children, Cain and Abel, have another form of religion. From Methuselah and the rest, they have another form of religion. And then Noah have another form of religion. And then Abraham was raised from the horde of Chaldees. And God said, forget about your father religion. I will teach you another one. They entered Egypt as Hebrew. They came out as Jews. Most of you don't know there is a great difference between the Hebrews and the Jews. And say, well, you are telling me I'm a Jew, you are idiot. Do you know what is Hebrew? Why are they not talking about Hebrew? From Hebrew to Hebrew, from Hebrew to Hebrew, from Hebrew to Igbo. But you won't know, you are busy chasing a shadow. Religion has always been upgraded. But that is not why we are here. Only those who are stupid about it are where they are. Number one, they understand the need for free religion. Number two, they understand guidance of domestic activities. They understand for nation to maintain its nationhood, domestic activities must be guided and respected. Honestly. Let me digress. When I start listening to Radio Biafra, these are the principles that brought me there. Number one, as a pastor, I came back from church that Sunday, and I just needed to hear one live from Zoo Radio. And when I was tuning the radio, I hear, you are a monkey, you are a babu, Zoo, idiot, thunder fire you, God kill you. Yeah, I said, what kind of radio broadcasting is this? I had to return back to it. And I begin to hear, Chukwuoki Gabiama send me, Chukwuoki Gabiama send me. And then I pause. So those of you sabotaging the radio, FM radio in Biafra land, you don't know the damage you are doing to the struggle. Honestly, you don't. Because without the FM, maybe I will not be in IPOB today. I have to go back to that channel. Not because the man was insulting people, not for any reason, but because all my life, the only person I have had to use that name is my mother. And I know that the moment my mother say anything and Chukwuoki Gabiama, you are in trouble. The limit she can go. If you say, by the name of Chukwuoki Gabiama, I will kill you, you better run because you will die. No matter where you go to, you will come. She's from Umunede. She's not from Igbo land, according to. And then I was like, to me, I thought it's a name of a secret court or God. And then I said, this man must belong to the same secret court with my mother. That is what brought me into IPOB. Adia mama. Owonecha gwarubusi or ubusi gwaronecha. Ndi ushi. That is how I came into IPOB. These are the principle of preservation of domestic values. And then I start listening. Every evening, our leader will come. It is a wonder every day. Your mother tied to rapper. Your mother tied to rapper. I then remember the first year I entered River State. And I was communicating with my landlady in Rumola then. I could hear everything she was saying. And this was my first time in River State. The only thing I know about River State is that it's a garden city. And I know that there is nothing garden inside the garden city. And after my first chat with my landlady, Mrs. Same Hule, in Rumola, of course, go there whether you'll be able to track me in the area. You won't see me in there anyway. I just want you to know I'm not a ghost. And then I called my mother and say, these people, are they our people? My mother never answered me. She started laughing. So when our leaders say your mother tied to rapper, you are a Biafran. Understand, it's not making it up. Nekono, nekore ejoku, weju hebe nyonyo yeka. All our bueka weju hebe nye ejoku. These are traditional or rather domestic principle that was preserved by our ancestors. And then let's go down a little bit. You go to Urubu, Ishekiri, Patani, Abraka, Ole. You begin to see them doing banga soup. When you hear banga soup, don't think it's a foreign soup. This is so far. This is a dikayenko. It's the same soup. You go to Cross River, Edikaiko. You go to Umwa here. But Anambra, of course, they prepare the best of that soup. It is so fako. We come to the coastal region. It is banga soup. Banga, ako, Edikaiko, Ihohuro. Okro is okro. Sometimes we call it alite. Alite or okro is the same. Egusi ogiri is the same. We don't cook soup with 10 liters of palm oil inside one pot of soup. We don't do that. The Yorubas understand they do that. And so the first insult Yoruba will give to you is to call you Omoibo, Ajokuta Mamomi. That is the truth. Sometimes I begin to wonder, am I truly sure I'm a Biafran? Because when my family members swallow akpu, I'll be looking at them. They'll be swallowing. They don't drink water. But I don't know what is wrong with me. Whether there is Yoruba blood inside me, I don't know. If I swallow one akpu, I drink 10 cups of water. I don't know anyway. But I understand that our people, Yoruba used to laugh at us. They will say we are Ajokuta Mamomi, which means we swallow stone even without water. And then we will yap them back. Onyofe mano. Honestly, I'm not undermining you. I'm just wanting our people to know the truth before I'm sanctioned. I'm not Yoruba. I'm not cursing you. We are brothers. How can I curse you? I decrease. Sorry, Yoruba. You know, we have to tell Yoruba and say, onyofe mano. Because when Yoruba make soup, 10 liters of soup must go with 100 liters of palm oil. I don't know, maybe they don't have palm oil. But whatever the case may be, it doesn't worry them. If you be Igbo person, go and eat ofe mano, you will have typhoid fever. May the Lord have mercy upon you. Because of Yoruba people in Nigeria, we have Cameroon pepper, Chinese pepper, Cotonou pepper, Indonesia pepper, American pepper, every pepper because of Yoruba. And believe me, it makes them normal. It's good for their DNA. I tell you, when you as a Biafran, you go and chop pepper, Yoruba will chop. The best thing we will on music or for Sadebe for you. Ine tinkbu tobani kilomu tobani Coca-Cola oni boba yeje jedi lo makpe. Hallelujah. You are in trouble. Honestly, this does not mean anybody is better than anybody anyway. It simply means that there is difference in our DNA. So today, when we try to separate ourselves, when we try to divide ourselves, when we look closely into ourselves, we see there are evidence that cannot be undermined, overestimated. But all we need to do is to accept it. Somebody said, Judge Onyibe say, he's Anyoma, he's not Igbo. You are idiot. Yamania fam. Honestly, I'm trying to come up with an idea where I will tell you that the Igbo today, you are the fake Igbo. Can you speak Igbo? If you can speak Igbo, there is no Igbo you will not understand. All of you, where you are talking. Do you know I'm in IPOB more than almost 3 years? Some people think I don't understand Igbo. I just be looking at them. He say, onya na anu Igbo na onya na anu Igbo because small vacate kona anu Igbo. I just be looking at them. He say in anu ya negu. I just be looking at mumu. He say no na agba go me because I so as beke now. Ina so beke na so ne mo abeke. Imaro na wo mo aba. Nwa ali oji. Offset yana. Honestly, Nigeria wants us to be crying here. We will not cry. We will not cry. Honestly. But all these things are possible today because our ancestors left something known as principle of, that is the domestic principle that enables nationhood. The principle that encourages nationhood. Our leader anchored on this truth. This truth opened door for the revelation. The victory we enjoy momentarily at this moment, but believe me, in less than no time, it shall be permanent. I'll be back in a minute. Of course, we will not be able to exhaust all of it. We will continue from there tomorrow. But until then, I will be back in a minute. Don't go anywhere.
Is like the stream of life from which the character form and structure of the identity, their backwardness and progress are drawn. The history of a people, I repeat, is like the stream of life from which the character form and structure of the identity, their backwardness and progress are drawn. It affords a people the platform on which to predict their future. Though, just as every stream has a source, so every group of people has a beginning.
I had a voice on the radio Biafra. London is the mouthpiece of the Biafrans. Nandekano is his name. He made a vow to fight the end till our nation Biafra is restored. We love him, it's our mentor. Biafra is for real. Yeah. We will keep on fighting till the end.
Anything you hear on radio Biafra is the gospel truth.
I had a voice lighting the air, sounding like a thunder, calling for my freedom. Yeah, now I conquer. I had a voice lighting the air, telling me to listen. Biafra freedom is near. It's telling me Biafra is my name. Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home. My home. It's telling me Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home. My home. My home. For many years after the war, yeah, we be praying to Kike to give us a good leader in Biafra land, to replace Ojukwu. Until I wake up one day, one morning, I tune to my radio 102.1 FM, radio Biafra. All I had is love.
The people cannot predict their future if they do not know their past.
Yeah. Nandekano's voice, I had a voice like it, yeah. Sounding like a thunder, calling for my freedom, yeah. Now I conquer. I had a voice like it, yeah, telling me to listen. Biafra freedom is near. It's telling me Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home. My home. It's telling me Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home. My home. My home. I had a voice hiding me, sounding like a thunder, calling for my freedom. Yeah, now I conquer. I had a voice hiding me, telling me to listen. Biafra freedom is near. It's telling me, Biafra is my name. Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home. My home. It's telling me, Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home. Biafra is my home.
Yes, of course, people without a history of their past should not be confident about getting the future secured themselves. What do I do? Our leader has said it all honestly. And of course, at this moment, our lines are open. Our WhatsApp line remains 070-815-45642. 070-815-45642 is our WhatsApp line. And then our direct line is 081-221-52971. 081-221-52971 is our direct line, and then the special number for the female is 081-288-58614. 081-288-58614 is our special number for the female. But we must continue. What do we do? What do we do? I don't know. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Caller on the line. Of course, we lose that caller, but we must continue. People must understand. If you do not know the truth of who you are, believe me, you are not going anywhere. There are a lot of issues on ground. There are a lot to be said that have not been said. There are a lot that we ought to do that have not been done. But whatever the case may be, every Biafran must understand that to be able to restore Biafra, we must be able to go to the length and the breadth of Biafra land. If we are able to do that, believe me, we will go home. We will go home. Yes, a caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Caller on the line. Caller on the line, are you there?
Hello?
Yes, good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
Good evening.
Good evening from here. Your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Onyibe. I'm calling from Aba.
Go ahead, please, my brother. The world is listening. Yes, a caller on WhatsApp. Your name and where are you calling from? Caller on WhatsApp. Caller on WhatsApp. Your name and where are you calling from?
I'm calling from Onitsha.
Go ahead, please. The world is listening.
I'm speaking with George Onyibe.
Yes, you are on to George Onyibe. This is Radio Biafra Extra. Go ahead, please. The world is listening.
George Onyibe, it shall be well with you. George, it shall be well with you. I'm happy to hear your voice today. I'm happy to speak to Biafran today. I am a native from Obodugu in Idato North in Imo State, Biafra land. I'm coming from Mpo. My unit is a big family. I'm using the opportunity to thank our leader, able leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and the deputy, Uchemofo. I say it shall be well with you always. Am I coming here?
If you don't want to talk to the world, I may have to cut you off. I have told you, go ahead, the world is listening. But if you don't want to continue, I will disengage you. You don't have to listen to your radio to get feedback. Once you call, once I pick your call, honestly, if you are listening at this moment, go ahead and air your view. Call on the line, your name and where are you coming from. Good evening from here.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Go ahead. Ise.
Concerning na Enugu, I am short of words, but nevertheless, the Enugu na-apụta na Egypt, ọtụtụ mkpagbu bụ ihe bịakwutere ha. So na ihe ike ajụ n'ime, anyị ma na oge na-adịghị anya, anyị ga-emeri ha, and anyị ga-abụkwa ndị nara ana nwere ga-abụ ndị nke apụrụ ụgwọ ha wee na-egbutisi nwunye ha anyị masị na ọ ga-adịrị ha na mma na ọbara ndị niile ha na-egbu ọbara innocent soul ha na-egbu ga na-achụ ha enweghị ebe ha ga-enweta ha ma dị ndụ wee baa n'ala ọma ekwere na nkwa. So shall it be in their life. They will be desolated. They will never see a good thing in their life. In Yahushua's name.
You see.
Thank you
very much, Ada. Thank you. We must continue. Call on WhatsApp. Are you still there? Call on WhatsApp.
Yeah, I'm here, Mazi.
Good evening from
George Onyibe.
Good evening from here, my brother.
Yeah, good evening, Mazi. George Onyibe. My name is Mazi Emeka. I'm calling from Indianapolis, USA. I serve the indigenous people of Biafra as the assistant coordinator. Mazi, I thank our leader, Mazi Nadekano. May Chukwu Kabiama come to bless him and bless you. Mazi, honestly speaking, each time you speak every day, I listen to you. Each time I didn't hear you from Radio Biafra, I don't feel complete because you are eye-opener. The Chukwu Kabiama continue to give you more wisdom. Regarding on this, go back on our roots, to our roots, is very, very important because that's why many of this generation will do mistake. Like you mentioned about India. I once lived in India, the state of India before. Mazi, in India, people worship cow as their own god. Everywhere go peaceful. Before I traveled to India, I used to say, all this India will go to hellfire. But when I go to India, within me, I'm convinced that if rapture take place today, the number of people that will go to heaven in that India that we consider as the worshiping idol will be more than Nigeria that people go to church every day. Because in India, there's a calabash, like now if you have a shop, we put a clay pot, a pot of water in the front of the shop. Okay? And there's one cup in that shop, in that top of that water. Anybody that pass will take that cup and drink water. Some people will come down from their car and take that cup and drink water. Okay? And there's no this amount of killing happening in the country. We have the highest churches in the world is Nigeria. The highest church, even the youth even manage to travel abroad by Mediterranean to the desert. All this church still come back to abroad and open the same church. Yet there's nothing moving on that country. In India, no killing, nobody kill each other. You can open your house and go away. Okay? And the government take care of them. And we consider our people. Man, see, as I come to America, my eye open. There's one of the big man, one time, I entered I drove into his compound. He have something like we call it a shrine like in our land, Arose. I asked the white man, why do you know meaning of this? He said he's the fourth generation that's controlling this. The man is a rich man, rich white man. Okay, so this thing came from eastern part of Nigeria by his ancestor. Okay? And the way we be calling all this thing, we can't even audit our this thing, audit our inheritance. And these are the things these people are using here. Go to their museum. It's everything they take from Africa during 15th, 16th century. But we condemn everything. They have a masquerade here. They have a winch festival they call Halloween here. And right now, even Nigerian people are celebrating the Halloween without not knowing nothing. Black Friday, they have it here. Our people will never value our own heritage, our own ancestral inheritance. Thank God, Mazina they can on IPOB come this time around to help us so that we can go back to our roots. Mazi, let me announce our number in case anybody in the state of Indiana, USA, want to join our family. And if you are Ogo Town, we have IPOB family in Ogo Town. If you want to join, you don't know anywhere in diaspora because look at what happened in MNA yesterday. Orugo everywhere. It's better now we join this family. My number is 317-476-7702. 317-476-7702. Or you call our coordinator, Mazi Afamolisa. His number is 317-938-8346. 317-938-8346. Mazi, thank you from here.
Thank you very much. What do? We must continue. Caller on the line, your name and where are you calling from? Caller on the line.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening. Go ahead, please.
My name is Onyibe, sir. Thank you for everything. I thank Martin and the Carlos and Onyibe. Thank you very much. You are back again, sir. Thank God for it. I know that one day, as I am saying always, our buildings have finished. We have kept it. It's everybody to pass on. No matter what any enemy are doing, no matter any killing, what I know is that Biafra has come to stay. Thank you for your teaching this night. Back to your roots. Always your teaching. Always what you are saying. If anybody will come back to our roots, these Fulani Janjaweed, they cannot do anything. Even now, they cannot do anything. I and my brother today, we are discussing about what happened in Enugu yesterday. And I told him, when Waka Waka Biafra Day, that day, I throw my cap onto her because she is a hero. I told him, if Waka Waka Biafra is around now, that happened in Enugu. Before it happened, everybody will hear it. They cannot do anything, though. Those Fulani man, and they are there. They say that that place is their own. Let them say 1 week, 2 weeks, as in the Carlo has given order. If they kill us one, we will kill them 10. This time around, look for face. So if they kill us one, we will kill them 10, 20. I pray that God will help me. Let me go and buy gold. If I have money today, I will go and buy gold. Let people teach me how to feed. I will do them something. So in the next generation, if they hear about beer, they will run away. Thank you, my able leader. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
My name is Onyibe. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much. We must continue. Call on WhatsApp. Are you still there?
Yes, Maz, I am here.
Yes, original
Maz,
man.
am I on?
Original man. The whole world is listening.
My man. Onyenkem. Honestly, man, I don't know. If you are a woman, I would have come back to marry you. But anyway, that's not the issue now.
I'm engaged, you. Biko, I'm engaged.
I know. Namjishika, God will bless you. God will continue to bless you. I've not had your voice for a long time now, but definitely I'm so happy. Mazi, my name is Onyejaka Ugomaiman, and I am the national PRO of IPOB here in the United States, precisely here in Washington, D.C. Mazi, I am from Amibo. Amibo is an Olo. Amibo is the home of the tiger.
Hold on. Do you know I'm not happy with you?
Hey, because now, but
when you introduce yourself, you always put the original. Why are you removing it?
Oh, well, I will try to do that.
Very important. Go ahead, please, my brother.
Thank you, my brother. God bless you. Mazi, I want to use this opportunity to thank Onyendu, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Oh my God. God will bless him. Uchemefo, my brother, I am asking you to stick in and stand your ground. Man, you have brought us, when you say you have saved Biafra, because all the children now are up. You see, the killing that happened in Emene yesterday, it is a pit that these people have dug for themselves. No, you have killed innocent people that we are praying. People that we are praying, you went over there and then start, what for? So this is an opportunity now for all the Biafrans to come out. Since they have decided that they're going to kill us, the whole world is watching. Everywhere in America, people are seeing what is going on. Believe me, let me give you an example. When the civil rights was fought here in the United States, America was the strongest. They had the army, they had the navy and everything. But when the few black people decided that they want to get civil rights, then they were agitating. Even when they were killed, even when they were intimidated, even when they were bombed, then they were agitating, they were on the streets, and then they were agitating. You cannot get your rights by sitting in the house, or you are afraid that you're going to be intimidated. These people who are intimidating you, nobody gave them the order. It is the order that came from them. So if a policeman will come and kill an individual, if an army will kill an individual, it is something personal to them. Take your camera, take a picture of all these people. When we burn them and burn down their house and kill their children, believe me, they will know that we are out. I want our people now just to go out. Believe me, don't go to sleep. You have to go out in the day, in the night, come and agitate, come out and show your anger. Because these people have done the worst to you. You cannot go back and then you are afraid. You have to come, let them do their worst. Believe me, Martin Luther King, in spite of the fact that everything was going on in this country, then the blacks were out. They said, do whatever you want to do because the world is seeing it. We cannot get this, Biafra restoration by just keeping quiet. What we are doing, we are not killing anybody. We have never killed anybody, but we have that right as a human being to agitate for our freedom. And this is what we are doing. So I don't want anybody just to go and be discouraged or you are afraid. Who are you afraid of? You are afraid of yourself. You are afraid of your image. Why are you afraid of these people? These are the people that live within you. They live around. All the DSS and everything. They live in Biafra land. So we know them very well. When we start going after them and then killing them, honestly, they will leave us alone. Look at what is going on in Borno and then what is going on in the Southern Kaduna. Look at how this Boko Haram, little number of Boko Haram, that the Mali people went over there, is it the Mali or Niger, went over there and killed all of them. But the few of them are the ones that are tormenting Nigeria military and then stealing all their weapons. So we have to do the needful. So please, if you are here in the United States of America, I am begging you, my brothers, please, that time has gone when we used to say, oh, this is a Nigeria thing or whatever. Please, even if you don't want to join IPOB, of which I know a lot of people say, oh, we don't want to join IPOB because of our job or whatever. No problem. We don't have problem with that. But what I am asking you is, my brother, please, for the sake of the people who are dying, for the sake of the innocent, your mother, your father, your house, your homeland, for the sake of it, please, I am begging you to go to our website, www.ipobinUSA.org, www.ipobinUSA.org. If you go there, you will get the contact of each state. Every state, you have the contact of the principal officer or the coordinator. Or you want to get information about Biafra, then definitely you can get it from there. And if you cannot get anybody, I will urge you to call me personally. And my number is 301-343-1221. 301-343-1221. Thank you, Mazi. Thank you. God bless you. Biafra is here. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And then, of course, we have one or two announcements to make before I will pick another call. And then there is an announcement coming from the religious body of IPOB family. And it says, announcement. There will be 3 days fasting and praying or prayers by IPOBs through Biafrans worldwide from Monday the 31st of August to Wednesday 2nd of September, the year of Chukwu Kikabiama 2020. Theme of the fasting and prayers is Biafrans arise to go home, for the time is now. Exodus chapter 33 verses 1 to 2. Isaiah 60 verse 1. Prayers point in scripture to use. Day 1, Monday 31st, 8th of this month 2020. A. Thank Chukwu Kikabiama for leading us thus far. Psalm 65 verses 1 and 2. Psalm 124 verses 1 to 7. Psalm 40 verses 1 to 6. B. Repentance, rededication of our lives to our God. Genesis 35 verses 1 to 5. Joel chapter 2 verses 11 to 18. 2 Chronicles chapter 7 verse 14. Day 2. Tuesday 1st of this month, 2020. A. O Chukwokika Biama, destroy Nigeria and all her allies, and set us free from every bondage according to your promise. Genesis chapter 15 verses 13 to 15a. Exodus chapter 6 verses 5 to 8. Exodus chapter 9 verses 13 to 17. Jeremiah chapter 51 verses 1 to 10 and 53 to 58. Psalm chapter 94 verses 1 to 23. Then B. O God, guide and protect and give favor to our leader Mazenande Kano, our deputy, and all principal officers, so that they will finish the work that they started. The scriptures to read is Isaiah chapter 40 verses 27 to 31, Psalm chapter 91 verses 1 to 16, Zechariah chapter 4 verses 7 to 9. Day 3. Wednesday the 2nd of next month. A. Our Father Chukwokika Biama, restore our nation Biafra this year 2020 without delay. Scriptures to read to that effect is Ezekiel chapter 12 verses 21 to 28, Isaiah chapter 37 verses 16 to 36, Isaiah chapter 66 verses 5 to 14. B. Thank God for answering our prayers. The scripture to that effect is Psalm chapter 136 verse 1 to 26. Duration of fasting. Category A, dry fasting for 3 days. Category B, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. daily. Category C, 6 a.m. to 3 p.m. daily. Category D, 6 a.m. to 12 noon daily. Category E, 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. daily. Category F, 1 hour daily for children, old people, those who are under medication, as well as pregnant women. Understand that wisdom is the principal thing, and the Bible says, in all that getting, get wisdom. They are not asking everybody to undergo a dry fasting, neither are they standing to specify the number of hours you will spend with our Creator. There are specifications from A to F that enables you to choose the one you fall in, these stages you fall in, to enable you to remain focused and committed throughout this period. One can choose any category that is convenient to him or her. Chukwokika Biama will restore our nation before this year according to the multitudes of his mercy. He say, this message is prepared by evangelist Ozuako Nwokike for Biafran Pastors Forum and signed by Mazi Oscar Okeke, head of IPOB Religion Leader Affair. He say, and of course, I want to draw our attention to the announcement that was made by our Supreme Leader yesterday. I will encourage everybody to go to the Facebook page of our Deputy Head of Directorate in the person of Mazi. I beg your pardon, some things escape my mind. We have Chika Duzem, Mazi Tony Nzurumike. You go to the Facebook wall of Mazi Nzurumike, you will see the memo to that effect. Our leader Mazi Nandekano, of course, yesterday graciously reassigned me from the position I was handling before now. I am George Onyibe, the African rep, the Nigerian international coordinator, as well as the Biafra land national coordinator before now. These are 4 offices piled up in one. It was because I was available at that moment. That is why I managed those offices. And of course, men and women across the globe are coming up to take their rightful places. All we can do is to take a bow. I learned a great deal from Azemefo. He said, when we have our people who will do what is necessary to restore Biafra, what are we doing here? We take the back seat. And at the right time, I was properly informed, and I stepped aside for Mazi Ikechukwu Gwoha. We did our inauguration in Abia State, and I handed over to him the way it's supposed to be. And of course, our leader in his broadcast yesterday made it clear that Menene Teriri is now the overall zoo coordinator, which then makes George Onyibe only the African rep, no more interim Nigerian national coordinator. And of course, my brother, if I did not pronounce your name well, I beg your pardon. That is just the style anyway. If you don't know, you go to the wall of our deputy HOD, Tony Zurumike. Meriri Terere is the overall zoo national coordinator. And at least, of course, at this privilege, I still have the privilege of serving as the African rep. Understand, we are not career freedom fighter, for your own information. And when the leadership are led by Elohim to take any decision, we take a bow. We have one thing in common. Nigeria must be destroyed and Biafra must be restored. And those of you in the zoo, your overall coordinator is Menene Teriri. If you have any issue, of course, you can call me for that on, or you report to the DOS. They will update you on what you need to know about that. That having been said, my brother, you are still on WhatsApp there. Are you still there, brother, on WhatsApp? Yes, you are a patient man. Go ahead, please. The world is listening.
Okay. Onyibe, thank you very much.
Thank you, my brother.
Yeah. My name is Chukwu Emmanuel. I am a native of Ishiago, Ebonyi State, Biafra land. I greet my leader. I greet our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for a time like this. I greet Mazi Chemefo and all principal officers of IPOB members all over the whole world. Yes, this evening, I want to add my voice to make it very clear that for anybody to deny saying that he's not Igbo is a very serious mistake, because Igbo was recognized by the white people. They say Igbo great. Our leader has been saying this with so many times. For people to know that this name Igbo is a special name, and the British know about it, and they are doing everything to make sure they put this race on earth. If you are a regular listener to our leader, you will understand that Igbo is a special race, and they know that. So for somebody saying it's not Igbo, I don't know who you are. I have said it so many times that everybody from the East is Igbo. Whether you like it or you don't like it, that is your business. But the problem we have is the people who are religiously and otherwise destroyed a lot of things. And everybody are suffering it now. Because if you read during our own time from 1950, if you gauge from 1950 and 1960, and 1970 to 1980, you can understand that things continue to be worse. Not minding everywhere is religion, is everywhere is churches. The more you go, the more trouble become. Because so many things traditionally is damaged, thereby making a lot of people like this Igbo race to become behaving like animal. If you watch out by now, somebody upon all the information that is coming out from Radio Biafra, you can see some people behaving as animal, as Fulanis. Somebody will go and collect money and sell his people to the Fulanis. You can understand that a lot of things is wrong. And this, if you trace it to the ground, you will see that religion is the cause. Religion has damaged so many things mainly in Nigeria, both the Christian side and the Muslim side. So many things were damaged. They are too busy in religion destroying themselves, both left and right. If you're careful about the speech of our leader yesterday, I think yesterday, you can understand that these Fulanis, they have a grave plan for religion, for Christian in Nigeria. You can also understand that Christian has nobody to defend them in Nigeria. The so-called Khan is corrupt even more than the so-called politician. They are busy for their pocket, forgetting about they were elected, if at all, to defend the Christianity in Nigeria. But they are there. Fulani has brought them over. You can see somebody will say he's a archbishop, he's bishop, he's a reverend, he's all this and that, but he's working to help the Fulani to Islamize Nigeria. That is correct. Because there was a tape of Bros Emmanuel who has explained what happened to Turkey. And upon all this, this man has tried so much by putting a tape online. And upon all these things, the so-called Christian in Nigeria, nobody is interested until now. Even up to now, some of them are saying they are praying instead of doing the right thing, instead of letting the whole world know that this is what is happening. They are busy praying without work. So many things is wrong in Nigeria. What am I trying to say? If you are called Igbo, is a blessing name. Lord Lugard confirmed it. Our leader have said it. The problem is that when all this thing was destroyed, there's so many things happened that some of Igbo people get their brain is just like Fulani brain. If you watch out, if you give Igbo man 10 years to develop what they have in their brain, you will see so many things will be manufacturing from the Igbo land. But because the Fulanis and the British don't want our race to come up, that is why they are fighting left and right to make sure they pull this race down. Until people understand what is going on. Failing to do so, we continue going up and down. Nigeria is planned to make sure Igbo people, Igbo race does not raise their head and bring out their development to the east, which is Biafra. So our leader have tried so much to open this radio so that through this radio you will hear the truth and the truth will set you free. During the 1950s, when my grandfather and grand-grandfather is alive, so many things that is working that time, The people who are going to church are going to church. The people who are Omelala, they are doing their own thing. Everything is going. But now, the so-called religion, they have destroyed everything, claiming they are going to heaven.
Yes.
A lot of things is wrong.
My brother.
Until these people understand.
My brother, while you are making your point, honestly, I do not have any intention to interrupt you. But sometimes when we come to this very sensitive issue, we want our people not to be so dogmatic in terms of principle or what they believe. Believe me, all of us have reason to why we are doing what we are doing. Even when we make mistakes, we know we are making mistake, but then we choose to make that mistake 100 times over to prove a point. And I think what we should be doing at this moment is to make our people see why we must go back to abide by the principles set by our ancestors. If I give you the history of Anyoma people, you will understand why people like Achuse refuse to talk about Biafra issue. They are not saboteur. And there are things they encounter, they just don't want to say it. And the more we let them lie, we suffer for it. That is why people like us will fight it tooth and nail. In the end, we'll acknowledge the truth. Believe me, we all have something to lose, and yet we have better to gain. What I'm saying in effect is, if you blame somebody that you don't know what made them do what they do, you only aggravate the situation. And we won't save anybody. You understand? You are very correct in what you are saying. I'm not trying to stop you. But you've not been where they are. And so you just can't explain their conditions. Do you understand? If you if you're talking to a girl you love, the English say you woo them. How do you woo them? The first impression matters. Even when they slap you, you ignore them. You just want to get their attention. And the moment that is done, and then it becomes time for reality. And so there is always time for impression and reality. Some of us are still on the stage of time for impression, and then others are facing reality already. I am facing my reality. Honestly, there are some of my siblings that are still under the umbrella of impression. I impress them when I'm able to expose them to the truth, and then I judge them by their actions. I'm just trying to say, let's not generalize all of them. If you have not been there, you will not understand. Have you been a pastor? Have you been a pastor before? But I have been a pastor.
No.
I've been a pastor, and I know what it means to be a pastor, whether fake or original. Honestly, I know what it means there. And so if you've not been there, you can't tell me about the theories of indoctrination. I hope you understand it now. And then I have been there. I understand the theories of indoctrination, and I have the experience, and I'm in the better position to decide what is good for me, even though it is not good for me, which though I could justify in the end. And I want to believe that the most important thing is people must know the truth. And then even when we make mistake, they can't be able to reevaluate themselves and come back home. Whether we like it or not, Biafra remains the last hope of every black man on the face of the planet Earth. But how they appreciate the issue is very important. It is our duty to woo them when necessary. And that is exactly what they are doing. Some will tell you, you are idiot, you are hopeless. And then some will say, please, we just got to do this, man. And when all of us operate on the same frequency, believe me, we will get home. And what the enemy want, they don't want us to operate on the same frequency. And so when I talk to an elder who is very hopeless, I tell him, you either thunder will fire him. And then when I talk to kids who are ignorant, I make them feel my pain. I want them to see what they are unable to see. And believe me, a day will come. A day will come. Everybody will know the truth. Thank you very much. Sorry for interrupting you. Go ahead, please.
Okay. Now, one thing is this. Our leader, each time he came up on a stage, I pick one or two things. He said, black people, their brain is not working normal. There is something Onyibe called foresight. This, I'm putting it on my own side. When you have foresight, you have the two eyes is your eyes, which you are using to see things anywhere you are going. There is another two sides inside your mind who are working with your brain, who are processing anything you do. You work on it and go to your brain, and you come out and manifest. It is not in black man, it is inside black man, but the inside is very dark. It's only when you are hearing Radio Biafra, then that medicine we try gradually cleaning it small. We try to see small. Like for example, white people, when they build a bridge and the bridge breaks down, they will come together. They will ask questions. What happened? What made this bridge to break down? Everybody will come up with his finding, and they will come up and bring the solution. They will rebuild the bridge back, and the bridge will stand for a test of time. But in Africa, but in Nigeria, what they will be interested is how to give contracts to gain money. Whether you build it good or no good, they collect their money. They are not after. If a mistake is made, because a mistake will be made, but it is left for people who understand, who can reason as a human being to ask questions why this mistake is made. Like what happened to Nnamdi Azikiwe and Awolowo on October 1st, 1960. Is a very grave mistake, and we are suffering it now. It is left for people who are here now alive. Nnamdi Azikiwe and Awolowo have died and gone. It's left for us who are here now to see the mistake and put it in order by making sure that the West will look for their own freedom, and the East, Biafra, will look for their own freedom, and the Middle Belt, if they wish, will look for their own freedom. That is the only solution. If anybody is saying, let us continue Nigeria, is the worst person that you can meet on earth, because Nigeria is completely a place that British planned to remain slave, forever slave. That is why they put some group of people like Fulanis, who are terrorists all over the whole world, to be on top of those who claim they are educated. Look at how many educated people are in Senate. Look at how many people educated who claim they are lawmakers in Abuja. And all of them are there. The Fulanis, illiterate Fulanis, have taken every key position in federal. How shameful. And somebody somewhere
try and summarize.
So thank you very much. We can have another day to talk to my dear.
Thank you very much.
Good night.
And
goodbye.
Ebony man, thank you very much. I appreciate. And of course, we are inching closer to the end of this program on this very segment. But believe me, do not go anywhere. The journey has just begun. Understand, we reason separately. We respond to issues separately, differently. But if we're able to channel our energy to one source, we will get to our destination. As a young father, it has not been easy for me to manage my children, and then I behave the way I behave. Something happened one day. I just want my children to be perfect like me. And I believe the only principle is to break them. They cannot listen. They have to. And honestly, I thought I'm a good father by breaking them. And then I see somebody older than me and say, what are you doing? I said, this guy is not disciplined. I got no discipline. He said, no. They are just children. He just gave birth to them. They are trying to fit into the new environment. They were in the womb, in the placenta. They spent 9 months in the maternal. And now they are in another environment. They're trying to fix up. Help them. And that is your duty. And from that day, I realized I've made mistakes in so many ways. And then I humble myself and I guide them. And I'm more proud of them ever than I could imagine. Some of us are like that. You gotta break down, you gotta do this, you gotta do gene, onyake wo, you gotta do gene. And that is why we tell Nigeria, bring it on, we are looking at you. You bring it on. Of course, like I said, I will be signing off on this segment. Please do not go anywhere. Do not go anywhere. I'm coming back right after that. Hello, Biafrans, are you still there? Hello, Biafrans. I'll be back in a minute.
Mommy, don't cry. Daddy, hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Now we be the Biafra, hello Biafra, hello Biafra. I want you Biafra, hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Now we be the Biafra, hello Biafra, hello Biafra. I want you Biafra, hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Freedom is here, hello Biafra, hello Biafra. I want you Biafra, yeah. Freedom is here, is here. God, I want to thank you for this beautiful thing where you did do for us. Finally Biafra is here, so make you never give up. I know yes, they killed us many years back. I know yes, they try to pull us down, but this kind of work this way. Thank you for all the good things. Now you don't make us better, eh? Now everything done better, eh? Now thank you for the good things. See everything done better, eh? We're living fine. Brother Kaiga waniru Kaika Kulanyo. Brother Biko Gawaniru. It makes me cry when I see my brothers being killed. Nigerian soldiers keep on killing us because we said for freedom. Yeah, take my life, but you can never take away that joy. Freedom is ours. We got what it takes to live. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Now we be the Biafra. Hello Biafra, hello Biafra. Hello.